Hello and welcome to Content Aware Templates Text in Canva, everything you need to know. To begin, we're going to add some text to our lovely panel here. There's two different ways you can do this. First, you can come over to this bar and select text. Click on it and it will bring you to a place where you have, if you're like me, you have a bunch of brand kits, but you may find something here. Just go ahead and click on Add a Heading. And there we go. There's our heading. And we can click off it so we can see it a little bit better. Now, the other way to do it is to simply press T. And there you go. It pops up with some paragraph text. And we're going to grab onto this handle right here, the arrows and the crisscross, and that is going to allow us to move our text all around. Same thing with this one. See the rotation pops up, so you can rotate it, and the mover pops up, so you can grab that. Another way you can do it is just to click on the text and grab it and move it. All right, for simplicity's sake, we're going to get rid of add a heading. And we're going to click on your paragraph text and move it. And you'll see that lines pop up. Do you see the magenta lines indicating whether we're in the middle or not? Those lovely lines are great for snapping and making your presentation look really professional. So we're just going to center it. And we're going to go through this bar up here and show you all the different things that you can do with your text. The first thing we're going to look at is fonts. This is where you're going to find your fonts. If you click on the down caret, you'll see that my brand is TT Drugs, and we're going to get out of there. And okay, here's what's going to come up. You'll see that there's a big drop-down menu, and I have some uploaded fonts, and we're going to scroll past those. What you're going to see is probably English fonts or popular fonts, and you can go through and click on each one of these until you find something that you like. Please do be aware that fonts that have this little crown next to them are not free to use. And if you try to make a design with one of these and you have a free account and you use one of these fonts, it's not going to come out right. So if you have a free account, try to stay away from the ones with the crowns next to them. And let's go with something wide and bold. I don't like it. Let's scroll down a little bit more until we have something that's really easy to see. Okay, good enough for me. Okay, so what we're going to do now that we have selected a font is we're going to change the size of it. So what we can do is use this bar up here to either decrease or increase the size of your font, or you can click in here and either scroll down. Oh, there we go. Oh, come on. Doesn't want to scroll down for me. I guess I have to use the mouse. You can scroll down and change the size, or you can click here and just type in a number and get the size of the text you want. So this is actually nice and big and easy to see. So we're going to keep this right here. The next thing we can do is we can change the color of our font. You can see text color is right here. So usually the default colors are what's going to pop up for you. So we can go through, just click on it to change all of the text in your text box to whatever color you want. How about a nice bright purple? And if you have something else in your document that you would like to change it to, you can click this box right here and you can drag and drop and scroll through and change the color in any way, shape, and form you want. Now we have a nice dark grape color. I want it a little bit brighter. Okay. Another thing you can do is use the eyedropper. Click on the eyedropper tool and then you will see that you can click on something else, and it'll change it to the color of whatever else is in your document. But for all intents and purposes, since it's nice, clear, and easy to read, we're going to go with black. Next, you can, on certain fonts, you'll see that you are able to bold and italicize your font. So let's pick a different font just so we can do that. This looks like a good candidate. Yep. See, these are not grayed out anymore. Now we can make it bold, unbold it, make it italics, unitalicize it. You get the drift. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is add a little bit more text. Let's just say things and stuff, and more things and stuff. And we're going to click out of there, and to move it so that we can actually see what we're working on, I'm going to grab it and bring it up. Okay, now we have plenty of text inside here. What if we want to change the alignment? What if I want everything to align on this side? All I have to do is click through. Now it aligns on the right side, and now everything is centered. Very easy to use the alignment tool. The next thing you can do is use the list tool, and it will automatically add bullet points or numbers or letters. I believe we can go through and add letters. Okay, either way, we don't need anything, so we're going to get rid of it. The next thing you can do is adjust the spacing of your text. You can adjust the letter spacing by moving this bar, and of course you can type in your own custom spacing, and let's go with 25. Okay, yeah, it makes our font nice and spread out. You can also play with the line spacing. So that's kind of like, you know, double line, single line, and so on. And we're just going to go back to 1, and we're going to put this at 0. Or I don't know what it was before. Okay. And from there, we can start to add some effects. If you want to add effects, go ahead, click on the effects box, and it's going to bring this menu up. We can add a drop shadow to our text and play with all different kinds of settings. We can make it closer by adjusting the offset. We can change the direction. Let's see. I guess this is sort of your standard right here. You can add some blur to make it a little bit softer. You can bump up the, you can bump up the transparency so that it's a little bit darker. And you can even change the color. So let's add purple. I'm going with purple. I feel like a purple day today. Okay, so that would be how to play with the shadow function. You can also select lift, hollow, splice, echo. These all have adjustments within them, and you can play with them to your heart's content. One of the neatest ones is glitch. Kind of gives you that sort of TikTok vibe, and you can adjust the colors. You can go with the cyan and red or the cyan and magenta. You can increase the offset so it makes it kind of blurry. So neat to look at. You can also change the color of your background. Let's go. I like this yellow. It's actually pretty bright and contrasts well, so we'll stick with that. You can change and increase the roundness or decrease it. You can see it's very square here, very round here. You can increase the spread or decrease the spread. And you can also adjust the transparency of the background. But I don't really want any background, so we're going to go back to none. Another thing you can play with is the shape. You can actually, 100% curve your shape. Oh, this is only 72%. If we had a little bit less text, it would look less ridiculous. But let's go back to none and delete some of this text. And okay, now it's going to be a little bit safer to play around with the curve function. There you go. See, you can wrap your text around something round and you can adjust it. And I love how as you adjust it, it shows the size of the circle and the center of the circle. See it bringing that little cyan dot. There's the center of my circle, and you can go either way. You could have it wrap up if you want. All right, so we're going to turn that off because we don't really need that anymore. And the last thing we're going to talk about before, while we still have this one text box, is we're going to learn how to animate it. We're going to click on Animate, and then we can just scroll through the animations. We don't even have to click on them. We can just scroll through to get a preview of the animations. Oh, this looks like it's typing. Neat. Oh, it's ascending or dropping down or bolding. Oh, burst. They're all so neat. There's so many different types. So these are all fun to play with if you're planning a presentation or anything like that. These are fun to play with, but for all intents and purposes, we probably won't be using them very much as we play with our templates. I just wanted you to be able to have a look at that. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add a second text box, and I'm going to use the shortcut of just pressing the T button to add some more paragraph text. We're going to just change this to say more paragraph text. Okay, so now we have something large, something small. What if we're wanting to attach these two things together? What we can do is highlight the first big text box by clicking on it, then hold down the Shift key, and we can click the second text box and see how there's like a little cyan line, that dotted line that runs around. Now, these two items are attached together. So if I click inside of one text box, I can move them both together and they'll move as a unit. And let's put them back in the middle. Can we get that alignment? There we go. If we want to keep them as a unit, kind of like forever, what we can do is go up to this more, these three dots, and we can group them. So click on Group. And now you can see that the dots went away, and now there's just one solid cyan line around both items. So if we click in, they are still hooked together and not going anywhere. We're going to go back up here, and if you decide you don't like that spacing, you can click Ungroup. And let's just say we want things a little bit closer. We can either click the crossbar here, click on the text, or if our text is highlighted, we can use the arrow keys on our keyboard to adjust them very, very subtly. You can see I'm clicking away here on my up arrow. Okay, I'm satisfied with that. Now let's group them. This box is already highlighted, so we're going to press Shift, and we're going to click this text box, and we're going to group them together. All right, now if we move this and we want to make sure it's in the middle, what we can do is we can go to Position, and we can do all kinds of things. We can stick it way up on the top of the screen, put it all the way to the left, put it on the bottom. We can put it on the right. What most people want to do is put it in the middle, center. And there we go. Now you know for sure that your text is in the middle, center of your document. And then a couple more things that we can do is, say for example, there's some text in a box already and you want to apply the styles in this box to everything down here. In order to do that, we click on this box, go up to the three dots, click on the paint roller, copy style, and then see how it becomes a paint roller? We can click inside there and oh, now it is the same as this, although that was now it looks boring. So if we want to undo something, a keyboard control to do that is Command Z. And there, see, everything's back the way it was. If you want to undo that change, you can hit Shift Command Z and it will bring you back to your previous state. So you can go back and forth, but I'm just going to Command Z. I like it like this just for us to play around with. If you wanted to add a link to a website, you can go ahead and click this box. And if you wanted to lock this so no changes could be made, you would click this box. Also, if you wanted to underline, it's hidden strangely in here, and you can underline your text. And if you wanted everything to be upper or lowercase, you can go ahead and click that. So that takes you through just about all of the the text manipulations that you are going to need here in Canva to manipulate and change and personalize your template. And I hope that you enjoyed learning how to change your text in Canva.